Hello, my name is Gus, but you can call me BATGUS, and we are back with our Batman the Animated Series episodes commentary. And today's episode is going to be the Clock King, a great and new villain from the Batman Rogues Gallery that is being introduced in this episode. But before we watch it, I'm going to do my countdown so we can watch it together. If you have your Blu-ray box set or DVD box set with Batman the Animated Series or the streaming service with the animation. So I'm going to do the countdown. So get prepared for watch it with me in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So the Warner Bros. Logo is on the screen. And like I said, the Clock King is the introduction of this villain, the Clock King, which is not a very famous or popular or very used villain for Batman in any stories or any medias. I probably remember most this character here in the animation, and that's it. I don't remember much of him in the comics or other medias. It's an interesting villain. I'm not sure now, but probably the Clock King was also featured in Batman 1966, the TV show with Adam West. I think, yes, the Clock King was there as well. So that's where he probably came from, or at least he came from the comics and was adapted to the show and now here in the animation. He's an interesting villain. I have a lot of nostalgia for these episodes, this particular episode here, because I remember watching it in the house of my aunt and uncle with my cousins when I was a kid, a very small kid. I remember watching this episode on HBO, on cable TV, when I was just a little kid. And I remember me and my cousins and my brother, probably, I'm not sure, having fun watching this episode on Sunday night that the HBO channel was broadcasting. I think it was HBO channel, or it could be maybe Warner Bros. Channel. I'm not sure. It was in the 90s, so it was a long time ago. But anyway, here in the episode, we start with this man, Temple Fugate, who is the Clock King before he becomes the villain. And he is in the train, and he sits in front of the future Mayor Hill. Right? The Mayor Hill, right now in this timeline that the story is taking place, he's just a lawyer. He's not the mayor of Gotham City yet. So this scene is taking place in the past. And this is a very funny scene because Temple Fugate, he's a very obsessed man with time, right? As we all know. That said, he always counts the time, the minutes, the seconds for everything that happens around him. And he's talking to the Mayor Hill, not mayor yet, but he's talking to the guy, and he's saying that he has this very important audience in the court today, and if he doesn't arrive in time, he will have to pay a lot of money for because his company is being sued, right? So he has this audience to tell his version of the story. And he seems very nervous, so Mayor Hill suggests him to take a break in his job, to go outside, have a breath of fresh air, and relax before going to the hearing, the audience. So that he arrives there and the judge will not think that he's doing something dirty with his company, which he probably is, right? So he arrives at his job and he tells the secretary that he needs to go outside, take a break, and take his coffee bottle and all this stuff. When he arrives outside, we have this scene that looks like something that came from a movie like Home Alone or something like that, that everything goes wrong for Temple Fugit. He has these documents on his hand and a ball from some kids playing football hits him and hits the papers. The papers fly and fall onto a fountain of water, and he tries to get the papers, but then a dog barks behind him and scares the man, and he falls onto the fountain as well. Then he arrives late at the hearing, and when he arrives there, the judge sentences him to pay thousands of dollars for the sue that his company was receiving. And we have this very funny scene that he basically starts screaming at the camera for having been late. Actually, he got scolded by the judge for being late, which is something that would never have happened in his life in a normal day. But just because he followed the suggestion of Mayor Hill, he arrived late, and that is just too bad for him. Then we cut to the present day, where we have the scene of the Mayor Hill in his car. There is all the security guards protecting him on the streets, where he's going to make this public speech to the people of Gotham. Then Bruce Wayne is also in his car, being driven by Alfred. Then all of a sudden, a crash. Alfred hits his car into a cab driver, and there is this little argument between Alfred and the cab driver. But then Bruce tells both of the men that the lights are actually malfunctioning, the traffic lights, right? So there is this whole chaos in the traffic where many cars hit each other. Then the car of Mayor Hill also gets stuck in the traffic. This is where we see some people complaining, and since the mayor is there, they also complain to him for the city being this state that not even the traffic lights work. This is where we have this huge banner opening on the facade of a building with the face of Mayor Hill, with some drawings over, making a huge mustache and some devil horns on him, right? With the message, "Time for a change." And this is where Bruce Wayne realizes that this banner was released by someone on top of the building. So he enters the building, and we see this very cool scene. I always remember this scene where we see his silhouette on the windows of the building's facade going up the building. And during this, the floors, right, each level that he goes up, we see him changing to Batman. He's a very good, very, very creative Batman suit change. When he arrives at the top of the building, he finds Temple Fugit, the Clock King. And they have this little conversation, and Batman demands some answers from him. And now Fugit is full-on villain, right? With his cane that is in the form of a clock tip or arrows. And his glasses also have a clock inside the glasses. So he's very his brand is all over his suit, right? And this is where we have Batman. By the way, this is a very daylight episode, right? All the episode happens during the daylight, which is not usual for any of the Batman episodes, but in this one, it takes place all during the day, which is a change a nice change actually in here. It works in a cartoon. I don't think it works in movies like The Flash, for example. But anyway, Batman follows some clues and he goes to a place, building in the city where he finds these devices that control traffic lights and all that stuff. And he realized that there was a sabotage, and the saboteur is probably Fugit, right? So he starts this investigation to try to find the man. And now I can talk a little about my own short animation called Batman the Darkest Night that I recently posted here on my channel. Is the cheapest short fan-made movie with the Batman that you will ever see. I made it basically using paper sheets, and I used cutouts, editing, my voice. And this is a way I found to do some animations in my channel called Joe Ripper, which is a channel here on YouTube where I do these very simple animations with some of my characters. And I did one with Batman called Batman the Darkest Night. And I used the Clock King as the villain in this short fan-made animation, because the story is about Batman going briefly back in time to the day and time that his parents died, and he finds them on the crime alley. And not only that, he finds also Joe Chill, the man who killed his parents there. And the question of the short animation is, if Batman could go back in time and actually save his parents from Joe Chill, what would he do, right? And I will let you see the answer to that in the short animation that I will leave the link right here above the screen and in the description of the video. I hope you can watch it. It's, again, very cheap, very simply made, but I think it's a lot of fun. And now Batman, he goes to a bank where supposedly Fugit stole, and when he arrives at the bank, he sees all the people inside unconscious because of a gas that the Clock King released. He enters this vault, and there is a bomb inside the vault. The door of the vault closes and locks Batman inside. So now he listens to a recording of the Clock King talking about the idea that the oxygen inside the vault is being taken out, right? And he has 15 minutes of oxygen, while the bomb has a timer that also will explode. So in the recording, he explains that Batman cannot open the door of the vault because any movement in the door, it will explode the bomb. And he can also not touch the box with the bomb because it has this sensor of movement that if he touches the box, it will also explode the bomb in the box. So he takes the tape of the recording and he uses the cord of the tape to create this device where he can wrap the box on the cord and basically move the box towards the door of the vault when the bomb explodes, to use the bomb to open the vault, right? So he will hang the box on the cord and move it towards the door of the vault very slowly and very carefully, not to explode the thing during the way. So it's a very tense scene, and it shows that the Clock King is not a weak villain. He is very smart and he has a lot of wits. Very intelligent fellow. And a real challenge to Batman. And Batman, while he moves the box towards the door, he starts to lose oxygen and starts to almost faint. And he also shows that he's very intelligent because he made this wall of bags, probably with money inside, in front of him for when the bomb explodes to protect him also from the explosion. Anyway, this is intercut with a scene of the Mayor Hill talking to some people, and he's doing this. He's releasing this new train station to the people of Gotham. So there is this whole presentation in the stage with him, Commissioner Gordon, everybody talking to the people, and we're gonna see that there is this this presentation is about the train passing for the first time in this station, but then another recording of the Clock King tells everybody that there are two trains actually coming towards one another, and there's going to be a huge crash. So everybody starts to run. This huge chaos takes place. The cranes is great. The trains arrive and they crash, and there is this huge accident that thankfully nobody got hurt, but it caused a lot of damage in the station. And after that, Gordon starts to look for the Mayor Hill, and he doesn't find the man, which means that the Clock King, during the crash, during the whole chaos, he kidnapped Mayor Hill. So this will slowly reveal that the real intention of the Clock King is to kidnap Hill for revenge. All because of the suggestion the man gave him many years ago to take a break from his job, relax, and go to the hearing. But when he did that, he got late and he screwed himself. And then we have this amazing scene, one of the best climaxes of any episode in Batman the Animated Series, that takes place in a clock tower on Gotham. And we see the Clock King talking to Mayor Hill in the arrows, in the pointers of the huge clock on the tower. So Fugate is in the pointer and Mayor Hill is in the tip of the pointer. And there is another pointer coming down because of the time, right? Because the clock is spinning. So this other pointer is coming down and it will crush Mayor Hill for the revenge of Fugate. And both men are talking, and we have this very moody and interesting scene, but because now like I said, the whole episode took place during the day, and now is basically afternoon with the whole sky with cloudy. It is a cloudy sky now, and there are lightnings, so it's very moody, very interesting setting for the whole climax. And then Batman arrives, and both him and Fugate start to fight. They enter inside the tower, and they basically fight in the whole system that keeps the clock outside working. So they fight all over these huge clockworks, which is a very fun scene because they have to move from one clockwork to another and basically balance themselves while fighting. And this also creates consequences for the clock outside, right? Because some of the Fugate tosses some bombs on Batman, and this makes the pointers outside come down faster, and they will crush Mayor Hill very soon. So it's an amazing scene, and one of the best fight sequences of the whole show. And it's basically the Clock King using his wits to dodge Batman's attacks, because since he is a specialist on time, he says that he analyzed videos of Batman fighting, so he knows the timing of Batman's punches or kicks. So he is able to dodge any strike from Batman in time, which is a great scene, a great element. And then Batman also uses his own wit to beat the Clock King, because the Clock King uses his cane to fight Batman back, and Batman, he backs away towards one of the clockworks, and when Fugit tries to impale Batman with his cane, Batman crouches and the cane gets stuck in the clockwork and creates this whole, as usual, destruction all over the clockworks, right? And then we get this scene that when I watched as a kid, it was kind of shocking for me and kind of definitive, right, with the whole idea of this villain, because the clockworks, they start to fall and the whole place starts to fall apart, right? So Fugit, he tells Batman that they will see each other again in the future, and then this huge clockwork falls upon him, and it looks pretty definitive, like he died, right? But knowing that the guy is a specialist in time, it's very clear that he was able to escape the whole destruction. Then Batman jumps off the clock tower and saves Mayor Hill, because the pointers fall down and drop the man. So Batman saves him. And then we see this very usual final scene where Gordon talks to Batman, and Gordon asks, "Do you think we'll ever see him again?" And Batman says, "It will be just a matter of time." And if you watch my short animation, you will see that this is a line that I also used in the story. So, and this is it, guys. Another episode. Thank you very much. If you are liking this content, as usual, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like in this video. See you in the next Bat episode, and bye-bye.